Let's tell you more about these counts going on in Northern Ireland's local elections. And we had Dougie Beattie updating us there at Lisbon and Castlereagh. I can tell you that the DUP's leader, Sir Geoffrey Donaldson, has appeared upbeat at the early stage of that counting, because he was speaking at that count to say his party was polling well there, holding its seats in 4 electoral areas, he said, but also indicating they hope to gain a seat in 2 others, but too early to tell, but also reflecting that others were doing as well, including the Alliance Party and Sinn Féin. Let's get the views now of Arlene Foster, who can join us, former First Minister of Northern Ireland. Arlene, thank you for your time here on GB News once more. As Dougie was indicating, a complex counting procedure is going to take some time, but clearly people are looking already at what sort of trends may be coming out, particularly this position of the Alliance Party.
Absolutely, and it's good to be with you, Mark. I think what people will be looking for are tallies. So when boxes are open, they'll be trying to get a trend, although they may not be able to get the numbers on to at least tomorrow, because there are some district electoral areas that would actually be counted until tomorrow. But I think we'll be looking to see what the balance is between Sinn Féin and the Democratic Unionist Party. You'll remember that Sinn Féin overtook the DUP as the largest party at the Assembly elections. At the last local government elections, the DUP had 122 seats, Sinn Féin had 105, so that'll be an interesting balance watch. We'll also be looking at the Alliance Party, because they had a surge on the last occasion, and they came up to 53 seats on the last occasion and already appear to be doing well. And the party that seems to be suffering is the Ulster Unionist Party. They seem to be the ones who are the gains for the Alliance Party seem to be coming from the Ulster Unionist Party. It'll also be interesting to watch the battle within nationalism and republicanism. How will the SDLP, the Constitutional Party, the party of John Hume, how will they fare on this occasion? And indeed, of course, there are a whole range of other smaller parties and independents. We've quite a few independents, particularly from the Republican side, in councils. So we'll see how they'll perform as well.
Yeah, so, could those SDLP votes go to Sinn Féin to further strengthen its position, for instance? But just to return to the position about the Ulster Unionist Party, I guess there may be a bit of relief with Sir Geoffrey Donaldson and the DUP that they don't seem, at a very early stage, I know, to be losing support because of their stand over Stormont.
Indeed, and the former leader of the DUP, Peter Robinson, very well respected in unionist circles, said before the election that the government in Westminster will be watching the DUP vote very closely. And I think that that is absolutely the case, because the government will want to see if the support for the DUP is still there. If it is still there, what does that mean then in terms of dealing with the issues around the Windsor Framework and the protocol? So I think, looking at the trends, and of course it's very, very early at this stage, it does appear as if the DUP are very much holding their own on this occasion, and may actually even make gains in a number of areas.
Yeah, and Dougie was also pointing out something which is interesting, and that is turnout. That it seems people do want their voices heard this time.
Well, when I was reporting on the local government elections in England and the results were coming through of 30% turnout, I was thinking about the turnout in my own area. So in my area of Fermanagh and South Tyrone, for example, we usually turn out the highest turnout. So it could be anywhere in the 70s in an assembly election. Now, it's usually lower in local government. I would assume it'll be somewhere in the 60s, early 60s or late 50s. And people like to have their voice heard, Mark, and I think that that's actually a good thing for democracy.
Well, great to have your voice heard once more, Arlene. Thanks for joining us here on GB News, and of course we'll continue to monitor those results as they come in. Thanks very much indeed.